My name is Samuel Sahagan, and the name of my company is Vital Infrared Solutions. We provide thermal imaging for anything that puts out heat that's expressed in the infrared wavelength in electromagnetic spectrum. What we do is we have special imagers that are able to read that wavelength. It expresses an image, a qualitative image to us, and then from that we derive quantitative data. I got into thermal imaging. We have a home inspection firm in Houston, and we use it inside of buildings and to look for breaches in thermal envelopes, and I had an interest for it and a passion, and so while we'd be doing inspections, I'd be walking around with this imager looking and going and just understanding and seeing that I was finding more information than just my formal education was telling me about the structural, mechanical, electrical aspects I was looking at. I was looking and seeing and going, wow, this is expressing a lot. Part of the problem I had with the work in general is that I'd leave people with a list of problems. You know, that's great, but why pay? Who wants to pay for that, right? So although it's a service I was providing, I wasn't satisfied with that. And so what I found was through thermal imaging, I was able to solve the problems. As a thermographer, I use a thermal imager, and this is a microbolometer, and it's a long wave imager, and I use shortwave, midwave as well, and I also use the gas find IR cameras that FLIR has. I want to show you the sensitivity of the camera. So if you would put your hand on the wall, just touch it, and go ahead and take your hand off. That is how fast heat transfers. Heat transfer occurs, it travels to the cooler object, but it is incredible how fast it is, and I'm at 0.1 degree. Watch this, it's slowly dissipating. How do you quantify a gas leak in open air? We see a leak in what it looks like if someone's smoking a cigarette and you're looking at them through this imager, you would just see kind of the smoke. That's what a gas leak will look like. And so then we put a VOC over it, and it'll actually read how much is coming out. So that can be quantified. In the aspect of heat, energy is being expelled, it's degrading. You've seen a wire that's gotten too hot, it derates from red, it turns into a pink color. That's what happens. And so we're looking at that on all sorts of levels. And we're doing a case study, we're doing case studies on these things and releasing them as not feasibility, but going, okay, yeah, we're going to do this, and then put a method in place for this. One of the guys that works with me is out of Midland, and we're working in those fields out there. One big issue we're finding is the corrosion of the insulation. It's a big deal, and what currently is going on with it is they're using radiography, and it takes a lot of time to take crews, shoot all the pipe this way, that way, and it's just, there's too much to be shot. There's too much, and so we've developed a way to use the thermal imager to point out the problem areas, areas of concern, and then we take a RTR machine, a real-time radiography, and we run it around that pipe, and we can confirm right then and there, because you always use a secondary to confirm what you're doing in non-destructive testing. One thing we're working with is the pump jack surveys and the test, making sure whenever all these things that have bearings in them, when they go out, it is a huge hassle because you're downtime. When you're looking at bearings, there's two ways to do it. Again, you've got ultrasound, like a UE probe 15,000, or where you're able to hear the difference in the frequency out of the vibrations of it. You can hear the frequency, and it's shocking to hear if you've never heard it before, but it's amazing what a good bearing to a bad bearing sounds like. But without looking at it qualitatively with a thermal imager and going, okay, that one, okay, 10 of those are at 85 degrees. One of them's at 180. What do the specs say? I say it simply like that. I mean, it's expelling that energy, never dissipates. It doesn't just go away, it's going somewhere. We need to definitively know, what we already do know, that things are heating up and they're going to fail. It's just monitoring that, coming up with preventative and predictive maintenance plans that are incorporating what's actually causing these problems. As a level 3, I'm able to go in and create standard of practice for a company or as a whole, or say it's for wellheads specifically that there's a application for. We can write that practice out. I don't sell infrared. Health and safety is this is what I am. I want to make sure that things are there for that. Compliance, that's our duty to each other, to comply to NFPA 70E and arc flash, I think, so that we can do what's in front of us right.